The story of good and evil has been told across different mediums, from stories passed down a generation through vocal retellings, to literature, to radio, and so on. But within the last couple of decades, more and more films have been about superheroes. Men and women with special powers or special skills, putting the needs of others ahead of their own. And to take down evil wherever it appears. We'll delve, explore, and find out the factors that influence the popularity behind this genre, and ultimately ask, why superhero movies? Whoops, wrong genre. Moving on. One element I have found in my research that has contributed to the popularity of superhero films is the use of active fan participation, which also similar to the same stance that Jenkins makes on the fan participation spectrum model between active or passive. Thought I would go straight to the source and interview two very active fans of these films. My first interview was to discuss the current heavy hitter of making superhero films currently, Marvel Studios.
Well, I'm Jason Cooper. Okay, I mean, it's definitely Deadpool, but he's kind of not like superhero. He's kind of on the middle side, but he's always been a favorite since the comics. I've definitely loved Deadpool since way back. Definitely active, like understanding the character is pretty good. Like, I mean, it's definitely nerdy. Like with X-Men being able to, or let's just go back to Deadpool because, like I said before, he's my favorite. I love Deadpool. I've definitely gone through and read a lot of the comics, like where he came from, what he is, who he is, like the different stuff that he's joked around. It's really cool to kind of like see like where they came from, like back with the stories where all these people were getting these characters from. You go back and you read the comics, you're just like, this is really cool. See the backstory, you get more depth to them. I definitely consider myself more involved with certain characters, especially nowadays when people don't read comics as much anymore like that.
Let's shift gears to our next interviewee named Trenton, who gives us a deeper analysis on the second biggest film studio currently making superhero films, Warner Brothers Studios / DC.
Well, I'd like to say that there's an artistically, inclined reason for that, but I don't think it's that. I think it's the IP. I think it's the names. They're trying to get audiences in by attaching Batman's name to Wonder Woman's name, to Superman's name, and bringing all those fans together to watch one movie. DC is playing catch up right now, and they're having to try to bring in an audience that has gotten to see Marvel grow from infancy. They had a long time. They didn't need to rush. DC has to rush. They have to catch up, and they have to make money now. All of that, just to break even, they have to near make $1 billion, so I think the more names that they have in a given movie, the better chance they have for breaking even and maybe turning profit. And see, I like that you brought up grounded in reality, because I think that is one thing that I neglected to mention about DC that I think they're doing. They're really trying to put geopolitical context into their films. You see that in Batman v Superman especially, when you see the fallout from the Battle of Metropolis and how that's affecting people around the world. The most recent Marvel movie, Doctor Strange, that's obviously steeped in a lot of fantasy, but they still found the reality in it, and they actually took that balance between fantasy and reality and made a joke about it. And if you remember the Chiwetel Ejiofor's character, what was it? He gives a note to Doctor Strange, and it's got like this cryptic message on it. It's like letters and numbers, and he's like, "Oh, is this like a secret code?" And he's like, "It's the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages." So I thought that was quite a good way to poke fun at the whole, oh, we got to be realistic. Oh, we're steeped in a fantasy world. Well, that's it's funny that you should mention that, because I do feel that Ben Affleck's most recent movie, The Accountant, does that in spades. I think that it really, while not being based on any comic book and not having any superhero background, they really do take some of the origin tropes. You see young boy, rough upbringing, martial arts training, becomes darn near a superhero. He can pretty much beat up or kill anyone he wants. Also, John Lithgow's villain in that film is totally comic booky. His motivations are so single-minded and not to insult the comic books, but he's kind of got like the dastardly plan, and so.
One example of massive fan participation that pushed for the creation of a feature film, Deadpool, what started as a leaked test footage ended up being one of the biggest hits 20th Century Fox has made in recent years. The Honest Trailer guys made a great visual graph comparing profits to other superhero films. They described the following.
In Fox's hugely successful comic book movie that never would have been made if someone behind the scenes didn't fearlessly leak the test footage. And even then, still never would have been made if fans hadn't demanded Fox grow a pair and release the entire movie. Watch as this accidental hit outgrossed Thor, Captain America, The Amazing Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, every X-Men movie, and Batman v Superman, likely prompting a new wave of R-rated superhero films.
At this point in my research into superhero films, I presumed if you include some all-star actors, put any hero or group of heroes as the main characters, use some special effects, and throw in a few $1 million into the project, and BAM! An instant hit. But this was not always the case. For example, a not-so-well-known group of characters, Guardians of the Galaxy, got its own movie, and the majority of viewers reacted this way.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
While on the other hand, a very well-known character, Green Lantern, got its own film, and the majority of viewers reacted this way.
No! No! God, please, no!
So in conclusion, realize some of the following. That both Marvel and Warner Brothers both have different tactics to reach a certain type of viewer, that there are several cases that fan participation affect the creation of a film, and also not every superhero film will be an instant hit. Lastly, they are just another company trying to make a successful product and hoping for the best to come up on top.